Hey guys, welcome back. Scott here with a new beer dissection video for you. What I have today, depending on when you guys watch this video, I know some of you watch all my videos, some watch sporadic videos. I had picked up, like I do many times, a compilation pack from the Bronx Brewery. Again, similar thing like I've done before, and I'm sure you've picked up. I think there were 4 beers, 3 of each, and I may not do all 4 videos, but there are probably at the filming of this one, I know I've recorded a couple. So if you find this brewery interesting, take a look under the beer dissection. In that pack, and there's like 1 or 2 IPAs, a Pilsner, a Gosa, and this one I have today, which is worrying me a little bit as I'm looking at it. It's Bronx Brewery's Summer Ale. Now, the reason why I'm a little concerned is I'm filming this in December, okay? So we're several months past the summer, and there's no canning date on there. Cool looking can, though. Looks like kind of like a graffiti can. New York, Bronx, like a subway. Looks like they got one of the trains on there. So it's a pale ale with lemon peel, all right? So, which is pretty standard that I see a lot with these summer ales, whether it's Sam Adams, or some of the other ones. They always seem to have like this lemon component to it at 5.2%. And that's it. Again, I've never had, until I started filming the last couple of videos, which you may not have seen yet, I've never had any beers from Bronx Brewery, even though I'm roughly an hour from there. Okay, so let's crack this bad boy open and take a look at it. Okay. Nothing just fancy, just using my typical tulip glass here. All right, so let's take a look at this. Kind of got a nice white, inch dense foam. It's actually pretty tight bubbles, a little bit more than the Pilsner video that I just reviewed. Their Pilsner, I think what they called it, not all day Pilsner, but one of their Pilsners on there. And you kind of got a hazy, kind of medium to actually a darker gold color, not quite, pushing amber, but it's definitely got a little bit of a darker gold color, kind of chill haze there. And, again, I'm concerned a little bit too, because there's no age on this can. And because it was a summer ale, I have a feeling it was out in like May or June, or obviously definitely in the summer months. And I'm getting this in December. So, and for this style of beer, it's not really something that you would age. And I don't know how they're storing it. So, anyway, again, the color's a little bit darker too, so hopefully there's not any malt shift or hop degradation going on in there. But let's take a sniff of the aroma. Yeah, not bad. It kind of there's definitely fruit on there. I guess I would say there is a little citrus. Probably I'm getting some of the lemon aromatics there from the lemon peel. Hopefully they're actually using lemon peel and not tinctures, because that sometimes, if you watch my videos, it gets too medicinal, too artificial for me, sometimes even over the top. But we'll see. I haven't even tasted this one yet. But you have a pretty neutral malt, Pilsner malt, white bread, maybe a very, very light toast, just as the bread is just about to get toasted. But there is some fruit, citrus, though. But I'm even getting like almost like a peach. It could be just the components between the malt and the lemon that's giving me the perception of peach. But like a stone fruit, maybe peach or even like apricot. Okay, and again, hopefully it's not malt shift that's going on, that's creating that. And actually, as I'm sitting here, there's a little particulate floating around in there, which, listen, I'm a home brewer. That usually doesn't faze me, because you're using, sometimes there's hop matter, probably, that's floating around in there. They may have dry hopped it. Who the hell knows? But it is made with lemon peel. Like maybe could be some pith from the lemon, possibly. So I'm not going to grate it necessarily on there, but it's a little bit different than your typical particulate that you would see in, like a hazy IPA. Okay. And again, sometimes when beers get older too, they can have proteins drop out of suspension. I'm going to hope that this isn't that old, that it's doing that, but we'll see. Anyway, cheers, guys. Let me take one more sip of the aroma. Yeah, citrus, lemon, neutral malt. Okay, cheers, Prost. Kind of that medium carbonation. The malt, though, I think there's something going on with the age on this thing. Kind of getting a little bit of like a honey character to it. Almost like they've used crystal malt in something like this. And it's not a style that I'm going to go too heavy with crystal malt. You're almost getting like a caramelization character, which sometimes with malt shift, especially in your lighter beers that may go from like honey to like a caramel kind of note to it. It's kind of what I'm getting. Bitterness is it's actually kind of low to moderate, which is pretty normal for this style. Body's kind of medium bodied. I'm not getting the lemon on the taste buds here too much. I'm not getting any paper components like trans-2-nonenal or other things like that that would signify like very old oxidation, but what's telling me is because of the malt, maybe even from the particulate that I see there, maybe there's some proteins coming out of suspension and a little bit of that honey caramel kind of flavor on a beer that usually doesn't carry that. You know, it's drinking more like a, well, they're actually drinking it. They actually do say pale ale on there. But this isn't tasting like a Sierra Nevada pale ale, like with crystal malt. It's tasting more like honey, slight caramel, oxidized kind of taste to it. Even as I'm getting my third swig of it, I think, getting a little bit of that wet cardboard kind of taste on it. Sometimes with these beers, I like to do these videos kind of cold, like never have any, impression on the beer, like have it before, overanalyze it, then do my video. Sometimes I'm drinking this right now the first time, the first can of the 3 that are in the back. So again, it's just kind of falling flat. I'm not getting lemon if they're on the taste buds. Again, I'm getting almost like I think this beer is turning a little bit of like a caramelized malt, but I don't think it's from crystal malt being used. I have a feeling from the color and this particulate in there that I'm seeing still in the glass that they're using just regular Pilsner or 2-row malt. They weren't using crystal malt in this, even though they say pale ale. But who the hell knows? I mean, listen, I'm not right 100% of the time, but I got to say, something that's advertised with lemon peel in there, you want a little more hit of citrus and lemon on the palate. This is just not quite doing it. Other than being a little pithy, which I don't know if it's from the age of it, but just not great, guys, in my opinion. I think this beer maybe saw better days, maybe when it was canned, or if you go in there and you're having it fresh on the tap lines. I want to be fair to this brewery, especially this is like the first pack that I've been getting from them. I can see how this beer may have had a better day. But right now, for today's beer dissection of the Bronx Brewery Summer Pale Ale, okay, lemon peel, I'm actually surprised. I think my wife had picked this up at Target, but I'm only like at maybe 50 miles from the brewery. I would hope that it would still be somewhat fresh and being advertised as Summer Pale Ale in this compilation pack. Hopefully they're not just getting rid of it because it's aged. But I got to give this beer, I'm going to err on the side of giving it a compliment of being like C+. I really want to give it like a C, C-. But because I think this beer probably has just aged out a little bit, maybe it wasn't stored properly, stored warm, that it's not as good. So I'm just going to say C+ with this beer. I just think it needs more lemon. I think it's turning a little bit. I think maybe it should have been pulled off the shelf and not left on there. Probably the other beers are like that too, but they may get away with it a little bit depending on the style. But it just doesn't have the advertised lemon. And I'm getting, again, that little honey caramel kind of flavor, which I think there's some malt shift going on. But That's just my opinion. You guys may have gotten the same pack and have a different opinion. Feel free to chime in at the end. But anyway, guys, today's beer dissection, wasn't too thrilled with it. C+. It's not necessarily the brewery's fault. It could have been just handling when it left the brewery or just stayed on the shelf for too long. The Bronx Brewery Summer Pale Ale, I think it had better days. This one, if you work at Bronx Brewery, you want to send me a fresh can, that'd be great. If not, till the next beer dissection video, guys, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.